What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? How you doing? Good morning. We gonna knock out the weekly forecast for all my signs. Bright and early. I normally don't work this early, but I woke up surprisingly refreshed this morning. So we're just gonna go ahead and knock this out. Weekly forecast for all the signs. So, for those of you who would like a personal reading, the information is in the description of the video. All right, let's just jump right into this, man. Let's see what's happening for Aries this week. Let's see what's happening for Aries this week. Ooh, there could be somebody making a return. There's at least somebody I think that's thinking about you. Feels like somebody from your past. Definitely feels like somebody from your past. They're thinking about you. They might end up making a return. Let's see. Ooh, 9 of Wands. Hang on. They're contemplating it. I think somebody's waiting for the right opportunity to come forward. Yeah. They be stalking the shit out of you. Watching everything that you're doing, waiting for the right opportunity, possibly just waiting patiently for you to let your guard down, maybe. Yeah. 2 of Swords and 2 of Wands. Pondering, thinking about coming forward. But for whatever reason, I think they're worried that you're mad at them. Oh, this is definitely somebody you got a karmic tie with. Absolutely. Okay. Well, that's a cliffhanger. That doesn't tell us much, does it? All right. Well, let's just see what's coming in next. What 2 decks do I want to use? How about these? What's due to come in next for Aries? Who's the next person coming in? Something new coming in or something old coming back? Well, I'll tell you what. Hang on. Well, I mean, really what I'm thinking, if this person from the past sees what they would consider to be a good opportunity, you're probably going to have a past person coming back. I ain't going to lie. Now, what do they consider to be a good opportunity? I don't know. Usually when that comes through, what somebody is looking for is a place of vulnerability most of the time. So like waiting for something bad to happen to you. But not always. But more than likely, depending on whether or not there's the open door of opportunity, you're probably going to end up connecting with somebody from the past. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Let's get the advice here. What's the advice for Aries? Hey, maybe a conversation. Yeah, this is saying a conversation does need to be had so you can close out a karmic cycle. Yup, a conversation does need to be had. Now, at the same time, though, it's also going to be a spiritual test. Because that means that the next person that is due to come in is on a totally different level. Whenever that Hierophant comes out like that, it's reversed here. The next person that is due to come in is on a totally different level. And that person can't come in until you're tested. So just make sure that you do everything you can do to at least attempt to tie up any loose ends. If you try to get closure with somebody from the past and they try to get all shitty and nasty about it, just send them on their way. Because a karmic tie will slow things down when it comes to the next person coming in. It'll slow things down. It could, worst case scenario, it could completely block the next person from coming in. Very possibly. All right. Moving on. Let's see what we got for Taurus for the week. What messages do we have for the Taurus family? What do we got for Taurus? Ooh, the Devil card. Uh-oh. What is that all about? Some of you dealing with a Capricorn. Kind of feels to me like somebody's lurking in the shadows, obsessing over you. Is this a past person or potential new person? Looks like past energy. Dude, that happens every time. Every time in the all signs readings. If I just read what comes through and I don't put a specific intention into it, past energy comes out 95% of the time. So it looks like there is a past person that's lurking in the shadows, like obsessively watching every little thing that you're doing, but it's not really saying why exactly. It doesn't look like they're trying to come forward. I'm honestly feeling like they're just wanting to be nosy and spy on your love life. That's what this feels like. They want to see who you're with. And if you get with somebody, they want to see if it's working out, you know, probably just to validate. They probably just want to validate their own shit, you know, because, you know, when you're in a toxic relationship with somebody and they're pointing the finger at you and blaming you for everything, the next relationship you get into, they're going to want to spy on that to validate everything that they said about you. So if they go around telling everybody that you're the toxic one, they want to see you be the toxic one to the next person too. They don't want to see you move on and be happy, you know? So kind of what this feels like. It's kind of what this feels like here. Some of you could have dealt with somebody that has some kind of addiction problem, possibly. But they ain't trying to come forward. They're just spying on you, being nosy. What's due to come in next for Taurus? What's due to come in next? Ooh, right now, you're in the middle of a transformation process. Some of y'all got a Pisces headed your way. Yeah, you're in the middle of a transformation process right now. In the middle of a transformation process. So the next person due to come in is not somebody that you currently know. So for those of you wondering whether or not somebody that you have your eye on is coming in next, it doesn't really look like it, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like it, but it also looks like there's a little bit more of a transformation process that's gonna, not only a transformation process, but also a healing process. Those kind of go hand in hand. Death card, Three of Swords reversed, Moon card. But the next person due to come in is not somebody that you currently know. And I do feel like it is a long-term contract. A long-term contract. Luckily, I don't think, if you stay on the same path you're on right now, I don't think you're going to have to deal with being tested. At least if you're tested not that many times. You may have to be tested once. What's the advice for Taurus? What's the advice? Ooh, Judgment reversed. Oh, wow, okay. So, try to refrain from judging the situation that you're going through right now. You see, more often than not, we're not allowed to know why we're going through what we're going through. One question that I get very frequently is, what do I need to know? And let me tell you something. If there's something you need to know, the universe gonna make fucking sure you know it. You are much more likely to have something that you're not allowed to know than for there to be something that you need to know that you don't. Much more likely. Because we humans, we think we know every goddamn thing. So most of the time, if we knew everything that was going on, we would sabotage the path, trying to do things our way. So it is much, much more likely for there to be things happening that you're not allowed to know than for there to be something you need to know that you don't. So try to refrain from judging the situation you're going through right now, because in the future, you're going to be looking back on this and seeing it very, very differently. When the next person does make their way into your life, it's going to make everything that you're going through right now make sense, because it's on such a different level, that you wouldn't be able to sustain it if you didn't go through everything you're going through right now. I know it may not make sense, but it will. I promise you that. All right, let's see what's going on with Gemini. What is happening with the Gemini family? Gemini. Gemini. What's the dealio with Gemini? Ooh, the Ace of Cups. New love coming in. Ooh. Okay. Now I'm seeing new, completely, totally new communication coming in. And this looks like somebody that you do not know. This looks like a whole brand new fucking person that you're connecting with right here. Kind of scares you a little bit, because I think this person is just so emotionally independent. You may not have ever dealt with that before. So you're a little bit nervous. Communication's a little bit funny between the two of you. But this is all new love coming in. Completely new. You might be a little bit afraid that you're wasting your time though, but I don't think you are. I just think you ain't never dealt with nobody like this before. You ain't never dealt with nobody like this. This person is actually very non-toxic, very emotionally independent. But it kind of freaks you out a little bit because the connection's so intense, but they're so emotionally independent at the same time. It could kind of come across like they don't care. They do. They absolutely do. Maybe you kind of maybe feel like this person's a little bit out of your league, honestly. Okay. That's weird. I didn't expect that. And well, that threw a monkey wrench in my flow then. That threw a monkey wrench in the flow. Let's see the outcome. What's the outcome of this situation? This is a slow new start. There's just something about this that you're not really trusting. Yeah. You're just not. Some of you could be somebody at the workplace, possibly, because that's the second time this has come out. But it just kind of seems like a real slow new start. You're not abandoning this, but you're moving super, super slow. You don't trust this situation. Yeah, you do not trust this situation at all. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Gemini then? What's the advice? Ace of Wands. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to say move fast. I'm not going to say move slow. I will say don't control the rate. Don't try to control the rate in which things are moving. If things are moving fast, don't try to put the brakes on it and make things move slow. If things are moving slow, don't try to put the pedal to the metal and make things move fast. What I would focus on if I was you is communication, because I got news for you. This connection is going to start getting real intense, really intense. And if you haven't worked on the communication, that's when things could get squirrely between you and this person. I would focus mainly on communication. Get to know this person on a psychological level, mainly, because I'm going to tell you what, within the first month, this connection is going to be so intense, you'll probably be questioning yourself. You know, you ever had those, you never found yourself in a connection like that where you're questioning, you're like, what is wrong with me? That's what this is about to turn into. All right. Cancer. What messages do we have for Cancer? Cancer. Some of you dealing with somebody at a distance, possibly. Well, there's definitely unfinished business, or a sense of unfinished business. Definitely, absolutely. You are trying your best to completely detach yourself from this situation emotionally. Trying to. I can't really tell how good of a job you're doing. I'm feeling like there's unfinished business. Some of you could have kids with this person here, but there's some sort of unfinished business with either somebody that you were with for a while or you were supposed to be with for a while. I don't know, that there's so many holes, and let me clarify this. Let me get a clarification. There's holes in this story that could take this story in two totally different directions. Let me see what's going on here. Let me clarify what's going on with Cancer. Let me clarify this. Eight of Pentacles. Could be somebody at the workplace, possibly. Yeah. There's unfinished business between you and somebody. That's all it's really telling me. And a really, really strong karmic tie. But here's the thing. Unfinished business is really slippery because I feel like this was karma that was created that wasn't there to begin with. You all created a karmic tie. Because it looks like you cleared karma and created karma at the same time. So there's just a really, really, really crazy, intense connection here that does not make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. You're up in your head, overthinking this, doing the best you can to just try to, I think you're trying to turn your feelings off. But doesn't really look like that's happening. Doesn't look like that's happening. This is such a strange situation. For me, because see, what I have to do here is I have to figure out how to summarize the situation for the quick little all signs video. For me to sit down and like break down and explain everything that I see here, it would take me about 15, 20 minutes. You know what? Let me just see what's coming in next. Let me see what's coming in next for the singles. Whatever that situation is, it looks like an absolute fucking mess. What's due to come in? Who's the next person coming in for Cancer? Is it somebody you know? Is it a new person? New person coming in, old person coming back. That's the unfinished business again. World card 3 times in a row. Well, the next person due to come in is not somebody that you currently know. But it is telling me that there is somebody in your energy that you need to untie from. Whatever that means, whatever that means. There's somebody in your energy that does not need to be in your energy. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's kind of weird about this. Normally what you hear me say is that it's blocking the next person from coming in. It's not quite blocking it from coming in yet. It's not quite time for it yet. But when it does come time for you and this person to connect, if this person is still in your energy, it will slow things down. I don't quite think it'll block it, but what'll happen is when the next person comes in, this person's energy mixed in your energy is really going to start causing problems. Because all that energy of the unfinished business between you and this person and all the things you haven't processed through, they're going to start manifesting between you and the next person that comes in until you're able to process through it. And that could turn into a big mess. Let's see, what's the advice? I got a sage now. What's the advice? Woo, woo, woo. Ace of Swords. Look, after a certain point, okay, wow, I got two very different messages here. So after a certain point, if there is somebody you have unfinished business with, just get closure. Just get that closure. It's almost 2025. If you're serious about a spiritual path, eventually you're going to have to send somebody a closure message. If you really are serious about your path and serious about releasing old vibrational baggage and healing and whatnot, eventually you're going to have to send somebody a closure message. I don't care who you are. Don't care how spiritually awakened you are. Don't care how good at transmuting energy you are. Eventually that's going to happen. But keep your radar on. Don't be looking where you've always looked. Don't be doing things the way you've always been doing them. Be prepared for the complete and total unexpected, because this person is not, you're not going to connect with this person the way you've connected with everybody else that you've met. It's going to be very, very, very weird and unexpected. Very weird and unexpected, but I'm telling you, the blessings that are headed your way are going to make you look back on anybody you're fucking with right now and laugh. I promise you that. When this comes in, this right here, I don't care who you're dealing with right now. I know you don't believe me. I get it. But mark my word, you're going to look back on whoever you're worried about right now and laugh your ass off. Laugh your ass off, dude. Promise you that. You're going to be like, oh my God, thank you, universe, for not giving me what I thought I wanted. You're going to be glad that this shit didn't work out one day. All right, Jesus. Now, let's see what's going on with Leo. Let me get a deck I haven't used yet. Leo. What messages do we have for the Leo collective? Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. Some of you dealing with an earth sign, possibly. Could be dealing with somebody very financially well off. Hang on. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Wow, this looks like, oh, hang on. Because I got new energy and past energy in here. Some of you could be dealing with somebody you have kids with, possibly. Wow, I might have to clarify this right here. Thank you, Winter65, for the super chat. Appreciate you. So I'm seeing a new start. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign for some of you. That's a whole new start. But I'm also seeing, look at this, wait here. All this past energy right here. So it kind of feels to me like as soon as you finally start on a new journey, somebody new finally comes into your life, then somebody from the past comes back. The next person coming in, though, this is going to be long-term. Is this somebody you know? Nope. Nope, I don't think so. World card, this is a whole new cycle. You're starting a whole completely new cycle. And I'm thinking that what's happening is the universe is giving you the opportunity to close things out with a past person. Wow. See, every time I do an all signs video, every time, there's one general theme that like 85% of the signs share. And that's what I'm feeling like this is. Creeping up on the very end of the year, the universe is putting us all in a situation to close out past shit. If you want to carve out a different energetic pathway for 2025, there's going to be some energy work that has to be done in the end of 2024. Let's just see. Let's see how things play out with the next person coming in. Hang on. No, let me see. How am I going to read this? Let's look at an outcome. Let's see how things are playing out for Leo. How are things playing out? Okay, so like I said, new person coming in. And I'm not really thinking that this is going to be something like blatantly obvious at first. But a new person's coming in, and it's probably going to start off as a little voice in the back of your mind, right? That you'll probably want to ignore at first to, close things out. Whoever the past person is, just send them on their way with love and light. But of course you want to ignore it. And if you ignore it, which we always do, I usually do, if you ignore it, then it gets a little bit louder and a little bit louder and a little bit louder and a little bit louder. And then if you keep ignoring it, you're going to be put in a position where you have to cross paths with this person. Now that's kind of later on down the line. But it's going to start off as a whole new start between you and this person. You'll probably be given little reminders of the past person, like you'll hear their favorite song come on the radio. Maybe, for example, the next person you're dealing with might want to go eat at their favorite restaurant. Little things will start to remind you, hey, you need to send this person some closure. And you'll probably ignore it and ignore it and ignore it and ignore it. And then probably around the end of December, this person's either going to show up in your inbox or you're going to run into them somewhere. Well, let's get some advice. Yep, that looks like the general theme of the first week of November. Closure, closing out the past, carving out a new energetic pathway, or at least clearing the path, What's the advice for Leo? What is the advice? Hey, 9 of Wands reversed. Okay. Well, so this is always very tricky. Okay. So let's say you absolutely do not want to fucking do that. I don't blame you. Here's what you want to do. Ask yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. Reflect back on what you've been through. And ask yourself this. Do I understand why that was meant to happen the way it happened? Ask yourself that. Whatever you went through in the past, whoever your last relationship was, or your last 2 or 3 relationships, go back to every relationship you've ever had. I don't care if it was your first little high school boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the case may be. Go back to all of them. Are you able to go back and connect all of the dots and understand the deeper meaning behind why every single person has made their way into your life? Are you able to do that? If not, doing that is what is going to release this person's energy. because you're the only being in the whole fucking universe who gets to assign a meaning to the things that happen to you in your life. If you don't assign an experience a meaning, it doesn't have one. They don't have one. And if an experience doesn't have a meaning, what is it? Unresolved, unfinished business. Unresolved, unfinished business is what turns into what? Karma. So, if there's anything from your past that you don't quite understand the deeper meaning behind, you might want to start thinking about shooting some closure messages. Hang on a second. I'm going to shut my blinds real quick. Yeah, you might want to start thinking about shooting some closure messages, man. I know it's weird. I know it's awkward. Now, some of you may be dealing with, or maybe have dealt with somebody that's dangerous, that it would not be a good idea for you to communicate with. You are the exception. You're the only exception. If it could potentially put your safety or your life in danger to communicate with somebody, do not communicate with them. You're the only exception. But for 99% of you who aren't dealing with an extremely dangerous person, start thinking about a closure message. I know it's weird. I know it's awkward. And it feels funny. But it will seriously, seriously alter the trajectory of your path. Seriously. All right. Virgo. I need fucking curtains on that window. This is why I never work early. See this light shining on my face? Because the sun's right there. This is why I never normally work early in the day. Because the sun's right in this window. I need to rearrange my studio. Maybe I'll put it back to the way it was. Y'all remember how it was when I first moved in this house? I had everything up against that wall. Anyway. Is there a different angle we can scoot to? Maybe right here. All right. All right, Virgo. What messages do we have for the Virgo family? What messages do we have for the Virgo family for the week? Three of Cups. Some of you could have dealt with a third-party situation. Ooh, there's somebody. What always comes up? The past. I'm showing you all the cards so you know I'm not just talking shit. This is past energy right here. So I'm thinking that somebody... And the Six of Cups is past energy right here. There's somebody from the past that wants to come throw a pity party at you. They want to come throw a pity party at you. Boo-hoo, poor pitiful me. So you may end up having somebody try to throw a pity party at you, getting you to feel sorry for them. I don't know though, with this Seven of Wands here, they may be waiting for the right opportunity, but I think they kind of want to work things out with you. And you know why? Because their love life hasn't been very successful. Most of the time. I have to tell probably 7 to 8 out of 10 clients that come to me about a past person, the same thing. 7 out of 10 people that come to me for a past person coming back, this card comes out. And it's because their love life has not been very successful. Most of the time, that's the reason why a past person comes back. Because let's say they left you for somebody and they thought that person was going to be better than you. They wasn't. Or they thought they was just going to go easily find somebody. They couldn't. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like you're going to end up in communication with somebody from the past here. Throwing a little pity party at you. Boo-hoo, poor pitiful me. It's been so rough. You don't know what I've been through. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. That's not going to go too well for him, is it? I can't think of a Virgo that wants to hear that shit. Of anybody. that you could throw a pity party at. You don't throw a pity party at a Virgo. Well, let's see who's coming in next. Who's coming in next for Virgo? Who is due to come in next? Who's coming in next for Virgo? Some of y'all might connect with somebody at a distance, possibly. Ooh, Four of Wands. Ooh, you know what? I do kind of feel like the next person coming in is somebody that you know. I think so. I think so. I do think you have a contract with somebody that you know. They just don't really, I don't know if they're just emotionally unavailable. For whatever reason, they're just not really expressing how they feel. Not really. And I think a lot of you already know how this person feels, but they're not opening up and showing it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe they're just not really mature enough for you. Could be somebody at the workplace for some of you. Regardless, I think you know who this person is. You just can't really prove it. You have a good idea that this person might be interested in you. You just can't really prove it. Well, you're right. Yes, they are. Yes, they do have feelings for you. They just don't know how to show it. Let's get some advice. What's the advice for Virgo? Advice. Ace of Coins. There's the Eight of Wands again. And the Knight of Coins. Well, Knight of Swords reversed. Y'all are going to have to be able to figure out how to communicate. Now, when it comes to something like this, I got to be very careful because I don't want to put it all on you. But at the same time, I don't want to put it all on them either. I don't want to tell you that you're the one that needs to go take all the initiative, but I also don't want to tell you sit back and wait for them. So we gotta meet in the middle somehow. We gotta meet in the middle. So, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. And I'm gonna try the best I can to just make this scenario something that you can apply to your situation, okay? So the example that I'm gonna use is a workplace environment. Doesn't matter if it's workplace or not, but check this out. Somebody at the workplace. And you got an idea that they're kind of into you. You got an idea. Can't really prove it. They be kind of looking at you every now and then, flirting with you from time to time. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start like trying to talk to you on lunch break. You know, I'm going to walk up to you at the lunch table and see if I can strike up a conversation with you. You know, then once we get kind of communicating, I'm going to let that go for a few days. You know, and then just keep it going, keep it going. Then next thing you know, I'm going to shoot you a friend request on Facebook. Once I feel like those walls are broken down, it's not too weird, we're cool, you know, then we're talking on Facebook for a week, whatever. Then I'm going to be like, hey, can I get your number? Then we're going to be texting, right? You take this slowly in steps to kind of, you know, just slightly start pushing the situation in a different direction. Slightly pushing, slightly pushing, slightly pushing. And ideally, as long as you play your cards right, this should end up turning into a successful connection. You know, but you don't want to do too much, but don't do too little at the same time. You want to be putting forth a little bit of effort, but not too much, but not too little. You see what I'm saying? Those are always tricky. Those are always so tricky. Okay. All right. Moving on. Libra. Libra. What messages do we have for Libra? That is getting on my fucking nerves. I gotta hang curtains in here, dude. We got them. I don't know why I haven't hung them up in here, but I'm gonna have to have curtains in there. All right. Libra. What are the messages for the Libra collective? Uh-oh. Somebody playing mind games with you. Somebody gaslighting you. Uh-oh. Ooh. Whoever this person is, they are in love with you, but they're playing mind games with you. Kind of feels to me like somebody that you've already walked away from. This feels like something that's come to an end. Yep, this definitely feels like something from the past. Always, just to let you all know, if you're waiting on your sign to come up, whenever I don't put an intention into it, past energy always comes out. I don't know why. Well, I think I know why. Because the majority of the humans on the planet have no idea how to process past energy. So like 95% of the population is walking around the planet right now with lots of past vibrational baggage on their back, you know? I think that's why it comes through by default. But 8 of Cups reversed, 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups reversed, 2 of Cups. That's past. That's something that came to an end in the past. And I think this person is giving you the silent treatment. They're playing mind games with you. That's all I'm getting out of this right here. Playing fucking mind games with you. Gaslighting you. Trying to give you the silent treatment. For those of you dealing with somebody that you're not in communication with, they're trying to do things to get your attention. If you are on and off in communication with this person, they are definitely trying to play mind games with you. Absolutely. This looks like a mess, dude. Kind of feels to me like something that you're throwing in the white towel on anyways, though. Let's see what's coming in next. Something new coming in, or are you going to reconcile with the past person? What's coming in next? What is coming in next for Libra? That's the Libra card in the reverse there. You're not even really sure what your next step should be. You are manifesting something new, though. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Well, no. With the Fool card and the Ace of Swords here, the next person due to come in is somebody that you do not know. However, I am thinking that a reconciliation attempt is going to happen. Somebody's going to try to reconcile. I do think that probably before 2024 is over, this person, if their little mind games don't work, if they don't work, then this person is just going to come straight forward and try to straight up get back with you. Could be a fellow Libra for some of you. Also have Aries here. So the next person coming in is kind of up to you. That's kind of up to you. The next contract due is a long-term contract. But it depends on how you're going to handle this situation whenever you end up dealing with this past person. Let's get the advice. What's the advice? Ooh, the Moon card. Well, here's the tricky part. Here's the tricky part. I can tell you until I'm blue in the face that this is not somebody you need in your life. I can tell you that all day long. But nothing is more important than you understanding that for yourself. If you're not able to look at this situation and fully understand why you don't need this person in your life, you're better off repeating a cycle with that person until you learn the lesson. Now, I don't think that's the majority of you. I only think that's a couple of you. The majority of you have learned 90% of your lesson with this person. So all I'm going to tell you going into it is that no, this person has not changed. No, they have not. They may put on a real good little facade and make it look like they have. They very well may. That's very temporary. Very temporary. They'll keep that facade going until they feel confident that they got you in their grip. Then it's going to go right back to what it was. So just know that going into it. Just know that. There is no unfinished business. You completed your cycle with this person. There is no spiritual purpose behind you and this person coming back together. Just know that. Just know that. No judgment. If you do decide to repeat the cycle, there's no judgment there. Sometimes you got to repeat cycles. I was saying this last night, I think to Pisces. I don't remember who I was saying this to, but as weird as this may sound, at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, the person who has repeated the same toxic cycle 20 times is much wiser than the person who learned the lesson the first time. Think about that. Much wiser. Much wiser. All right. Scorpio. What are the messages for Scorpio for the week? Ooh, the Lover's card. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, Batman. Judgment. This is telling me some of y'all, your person right around the corner. Whoa. But then we do have that Six of Swords in the reverse, too. Hang on, I gotta turn my fan on. Where is my remote? Where the fuck's my remote? Ah, there it is. All right. So I think for the majority of you, you know your person right around the goddamn corner. Some of you, though, I don't know. I'm trying to not talk about the fucking past. Trying to steer around the past. But it comes through. I have 17 different decks on my table here. And every spread I have pulled, one of my past energy cards comes out. So it kind of tells me that your person is right around the corner, but there is somebody from the past that believes that you were supposed to be their person. I can't fucking steer around it, dude. I really can't. But this looks like a totally new person coming in. So the next person that you're connecting with is somebody you communicate with better than anybody you've ever met in your life. That's what's going to blow you away about this next person coming in. And Six of Cups reversed. I can't steer around it, dude. I'm trying to focus on this. But every time I pull a card out, Tower card, Six of Cups reversed. This is past energy. Six of Swords reversed. There's some past energy that needs to be cleared up, Scorpio. Some past energy that needs to be cleared up. Let me just see how things are playing out. Maybe I can turn this in a different direction. How are things playing out? What's the outcome? How's this situation playing out? That's the past. That's the past. So with this new person, you're still keeping a level head. You're not jumping in head first. Okay, you're not making any crazy decisions right off the bat. But you are noticing things are moving pretty decent with that. You're noticing that you and this person communicate better than anybody you've ever communicated with in the history of ever never. By Thanksgiving, it's going to be completely unquestionable. Completely. But God Damn it, man. Death card reversed. Six of Cups reversed. World card reversed. Past energy. I don't want to talk about the fucking past. But if it's something that you need to hear, I'm doing you a disservice by avoiding it. I just get tired of saying the same fucking shit every time, you know? Oh, let's get the advice. What's the best advice for Scorpio? I'm going to go over here and pull out a deck that I have not used. Hang on. What is a deck I have not used? All right, here's one. Here's a good one. Okay. Tarot Vintage. Tarot Vintage. I haven't used this one in weeks. What's the advice for Scorpio? Five of Pentacles. Ace of Swords, Lover's card. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, unlike most of the other signs that we've talked to about this shit today, I'm not gonna say shoot this person a closure message. Here's what I'm gonna say about this. Transmute the energy of the past through something new. See what I'm saying? Transmute the past through something new. So like I said earlier, the number one goal is to be able to look back on something that happened in the past and understand the deeper meaning behind why it happened. If you're not able to do that, create a meaning behind why something happened. Let me give you an example. Let's say in the past you were in a relationship that really highlighted some of your insecurities. Just for example, I have an insecurity about my weight, whatever. So I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to start working on this insecurity in this new relationship. So once I start doing that, I start noticing that this new relationship is behaving, I'm laying a much more solid foundation in this new relationship based on what I learned about myself in the last relationship. So now I'm able to redefine the meaning behind why that happened in the past. That was meant to happen that way so that this could happen this way. I would not be able to function in a relationship with my divine life partner if I didn't go through everything that I went through with that past partner. If I wasn't in that past relationship, I wouldn't even be able to handle this relationship I'm in now. Does that make sense? Transmute it yourself. Because I think the majority of you are dealing with somebody that you wouldn't be able to get closure with. I don't think a conversation between you and this person would be very helpful. It wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't go anywhere. Especially when you're stuck, when you dealt with somebody that's stuck in the victim mentality, they're stuck in that mentality, you can't go anywhere with that. There's no talking to them. There's no reasoning with them. When somebody is stuck in victim mind, in victim mode with the victim mindset, you just can't talk to them. Can't talk to them. All right, good God. Okay, moving on. Sagittarius. 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 Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Oh, Ooh, there might be somebody that you're ignoring right now. Is there a person or a situation that you're trying to ignore? Ooh, we got that 10 of Cups, though. No, you know what? I see what it is. There's somebody that's interested in you. And I can't tell if you're ignoring it on purpose or if you just straight up don't see it. I can't tell. It's not really, because this right here, the Eight of Swords, the textbook version of the Eight of Swords, is she is ignoring the truth on purpose. And the Eight of Swords, this lady looks like she's in trouble, but she's really not. She's not bound against her will. She bound herself. The swords that surround her are truths and facts that she doesn't want to see in this card. But that energy could go both ways. It could come out for, like, if you just straight up aren't seeing the truth. You're not trying to ignore it. You're just not seeing it. It could go both ways. But there is somebody that's really, really, really interested in you. And I can't tell if you are ignoring this on purpose. Honestly, if I have to go with my gut feeling, it feels like the majority of you are ignoring this on purpose. Like maybe it's just somebody that you're just straight up not even into. Okay, well, man, I'm going to tell you what, though. Whoever the hell this is, 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Empress, they be digging you. They want to be with you. Holy shit. Yeah. Ace of Wands. Kind of feels like the perfect example of the person at the workplace that has a crush on you and you know it. And it's like, oh, God, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me today. Don't talk to me. Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? You know, that's kind of what that feels like. Let's see what's coming in next. What's due to come in next? Who's the next person due to come in for Sagittarius? No, that deck said no. Who's the next person due to come in for Sagittarius? I see you probably exploring several new options. Oh, okay. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested. Looks to me like you're probably going to be tested more than once. The good news is that you're tested when it's time to level up. That's the good news. So don't freak out. This right here is actually a good thing. This shit right here. This means, okay, so you've been through all the lessons. You've been handed all the wisdom, all the knowledge. Now it's time to put it all to the test. So you're going to be tested. The majority of you are probably going to deal with more than one person that does not have the best of intentions. And the question is, are you able to vibrationally pick up on that? It's not nearly as hard as it sounds. Not nearly. You know why so many people fail tests? Because they ignore their intuition. I just read for a client yesterday who ignored their intuition about a person. They said something like, I recently started feeling really, really anxious about this person and couldn't figure out why. And then I saw this person locking arms with somebody else out in public or something like that. And I'm like, dude, do not ignore that feeling. Don't ignore it. Do not ignore it when you feel that. So that's really, that 90% of when we fail tests has to do with ignoring your intuition. So let's get the advice. So that means that when it all comes down to it, person is the next person due to come in. That's what that means. What's the advice? What's the advice? What's the advice? Woo! 4 of Wands, yeah. No third-party situations. I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't think that's the majority of you, so I kind of feel dumb even talking about it. But I don't know who needs to hear this, but no third-party situations. I don't care what they say. I don't care if you're dealing with somebody that's in a relationship that tells you everything you need to know about them. Believe it or not, I do quite a few readings, quite a few. At least 3 or 4 readings a week, at least, of people who are dealing with somebody that's already in a relationship or already married. That tells you everything you need to know about them. I don't care how much they're playing the victim. I don't care how crazy and toxic they say their partner is. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If they will cheat with you, I promise you they will cheat on you. I promise you. I promise you. So, that first and foremost. But with the King of Cups in the reverse, you should know how somebody feels about you within the first month of seeing them. Actually, honestly, I think it should be in the first 2 weeks. I'm not saying that the two of you should be engaged to be married in the first 2 weeks. I'm not saying you're supposed to know this person like the back of your hand in 2 weeks. But after 2 weeks of consistently talking to someone, hanging out with someone, going out with them, dating them, and especially fucking, you should know how they feel about you. If you are confused about how somebody feels about you, after a month, that's not a good sign. Don't be afraid to walk away from something that doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to say, no, I'm going to pass on this. Sorry, I'm good. Don't be afraid to do that. The quicker you can identify what's not for you, the quicker the universe can bring you what is for you. I would say that if I had to come up with a list of the top 3 reasons why people go to the end of their life never attracting their divine life partner, somewhere on that list would be wasting too much time spinning in circles with the wrong fucking person. All right, hang on, let me sage after that. All right, Capricorn. There we go. Woo. I don't want that to get out of control. All right, that's good. All right, Capricorn. What are the messages for the Capricorn collective? No, I don't want to use that. Let me use this one. No, I don't want to use that one either. Hang on a second. How about this one? All right, Capricorn. What are the messages for the Capricorn collective? Mm-hmm. Ooh, Justice. Hang on. I think I know where this is going. All right. Yeah, and the Judgment. Hey, could be some legal issues for some of you. Could be. Now, let me just throw that out there. If you're dealing with some kind of legal issues, okay, then yes, it does look like things are working out in your favor. But I'm thinking that you are going to get the pleasure of watching someone who fucked you over get what they deserve. Yup. So, for example, if you got cheated on by somebody, you're going to see them get cheated on. Whatever happened to you, I think you're getting the pleasure of watching the same thing happen to them. Justice is being served. Okay. Well, that's a weird message to come through. It comes through every now and then, but I haven't seen it in a while. All right. Anything else? Is that it? Let's see what's coming in next for Capricorn. Who's the next person coming in for the Capricorn family? Somebody you'll be able to form a real good friendship with. It's probably one of the first things that you'll notice. This is talking about same cards that came out in the last spread. That's not what I'm looking for. You're going to get to watch somebody who fucked you over get what they deserve. That's all this is telling me. Who's the next person due to come in? Okay, so with the Fool card, no, I do not think it's somebody that you currently know. Could be somebody at a distance for some of you. You could be traveling to see this person, very possibly. It's not really telling me a whole lot about this. That's weird. What the fuck? Let's get an outcome. How are things playing out with the next person that comes in for Capricorn? What is the outcome? So it's the emotional connection is kind of slow. You all are starting off in the beginning. I don't really want to say slow, but the emotional connection is slow, if that makes sense. You're not really going to notice. How the fuck am I going to word this? Because it's starting off like this. King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Strength card. This is how it's starting off. But this is how it's ending. Well, that's not really an ending, but you know what I mean. So it's starting off kind of seeming slow, like the emotional connection is happening slow. We're connecting on a surface level. We're becoming friends and whatnot. And this is going to be one of those types of things that you're not really going to be able to put a finger on exactly when or how it happens. But you're just going to wake up one day and realize this is not something that you can walk away from. If that makes sense. Any advice? What's the advice? Kick your running shoes off and get comfy. Allow. Okay, so it's supposed to be a slow, gradual, transitionary process. Okay, and allow that to happen. Allow that to happen. There's nothing wrong with things moving a little bit slow. Do the best you can to try, and I know I give this advice a lot and it's hard, but try not to have any expectations. Try not to expect things to go a certain way. You know, try to just be able to maintain an open mind and allow things to flow the way they naturally want to flow. See, with the Chariot, here's my favorite thing about the Chariot. The Chariot is not just a card of movement, but it's a card of trust-based movement. Okay, because at the end of the day, these little dudes right here are the ones that are in control, not him. Not him. So at the end of the day, if they decide to take him off course, there's very little he can do about it. He's going to have to be like, all right, universe, I'm trusting that wherever the fuck you're taking me, it'll make sense eventually. And it will. It will. If you try too hard to control things that are very obviously fighting against you, that's how you lose control and slam into a brick wall. All right, well, at least we did we talk about the past? Yeah, we did talk about the past. Damn it. I was going to say, at least we didn't talk about the past, but we did. All right, Aquarius. What are the messages for the Aquarius collective? What are the messages for Aquarius? Some of you dealing with somebody at the workplace, possibly. Okay, well, there is somebody that's seriously interested in you. Yeah, there's somebody that's seriously interested in you. Like, seriously. And almost kind of looks a little bit creepy, to be honest. This looks a little bit creepy. Devil card, 5 of Swords. This looks a little bit creepy. I don't even really think this is somebody you're all that interested in. Are you aware that this person's into you? I'm thinking that a love offer either came in or it's coming in from somebody you do not want to get with. And it, like I said, this kind of gives like vibes of somebody that's very, very like, what's the word? Persistent. Very persistent and pushy and obsessive. But like, I don't know if this already happened or if this is going to happen. For some of you, maybe it's already happened. Very possibly. Wow, that's weird. Well, that came out. That's about the only past energy card that came out. It's the only past energy card that came out. It's not really saying hardly anything about the past here. Very little. But I will say, for those of you who are thinking about the past, there is a karmic tie. You are karmically tied to the past person, but 95% of this spread is about somebody else. Somebody that it does not look like you want to be with the Queen of Wands reversed. Could be a Capricorn for some of you. Okay. Well, that's weird. Let's see who is coming in now. Who's the next person due to come in? Maybe, hey, maybe this person is due to come in. I don't know. Let's see. Who's the next person due to come in? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, honestly, wow, okay. So this person making their way into your life isn't an accident. I'm not sure if it's a test either, though. I am kind of feeling like there is possibly some karma with this person. It's not really telling me exactly why, but I do think that this is coming in for a reason. These are the same 2 cards I held up in the last spread, 5 of Swords and the Devil. So for some of you, it could be a test. But if it's somebody you're not interested in, then what kind of test is that? That's weird. That's really weird. I'm going to have to go with a test, I think. I just don't have the card for that. When I say a test, if you hear me say test, 90% of the time it's the Hierophant that comes out when I say you're being tested. Not always, it depends. But the Devil card it would have to be the Devil card with a couple other cards. But I don't have the Hierophant here, but it does kind of feel like a test for the majority of you. So, yeah. Oh, well, okay, whatever. Let's, so what does that mean then? What does that mean? When you're being tested, that means that the next actual contract due to come in, the next contract is going to be a level up. But see, here's the thing. If you fail this test, then that means you're going to go through a whole new, well, not a whole new, you're going to repeat a whole fucking past cycle of lessons and shit. Any advice for Aquarius? Any advice? 10 of Cups reversed. Well, I tell you what. Do the best you can. I think the majority of you are probably already trying to like ignore this and just like not go there, not say nothing. But again, for a lot of you, this person might be really, really pushy, really persistent. So for those of you dealing with somebody that's really pushy and persistent, you put your fucking foot down and stand on business. Put your foot down and stand on business. Set them boundaries. Make sure them boundaries are known. Now, hopefully, good God, it doesn't get this bad, but every now and then, sometimes you might have to go to the fucking authorities. Hopefully, it doesn't get that fucking bad. Hopefully not, but every now and then I will read a situation. I have had to tell people that in the past. You know, it's not incredibly common, but sometimes somebody will come to me with a question, will this person ever leave me alone? And I'll tell them, go to the fucking authorities. If you got somebody you feel like your safety or your life is at risk, go to the fucking authorities. Just throwing that out there. I don't know who needed to hear that. Damn, that was a weird ass message. All right, Pisces. Pisces, what messages do we have for the Pisces family? What messages do we have for the Pisces fam? Oh, fell on the floor. Oh, the Hierophant. Queen of Swords. Man, y'all get this card more than any sign over the past month or two. You know what this is, right? Can you tell what that card is? Kind of weird. That's the Lover's card. You know what the Lover's card is, right? That's your person. Honestly, this is probably one of the coolest fucking Lover's cards I've ever seen. 2 snakes. Pretty cool ass Lover's card. But it is telling me that some of you dealt with an emotional codependency attachment in the past. So there was definitely a codependency attachment that came to an end. And that's done. Death card means done. Dun 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 dun. Okay. And your person's right around the corner. That's all this is really telling me right here. Now, what did I just say a minute ago about the Hierophant? Being tested, right? But I'm thinking that the majority of you are going to be tested with a past person specifically. I think it's specifically going to be a test with a past person. With the World card reversed. So you may have an open door of opportunity to reconnect into a past codependency attachment. Some of you have learned your lesson and are choosing the healing path. Some of you have not learned your lesson and are going to go try it again. No judgment either way. If you repeat the cycle, that does not make you a bad person. If you learn the lesson, that does not make you a good person. There's just simply lessons and experiences, and that's it. However, those of you that did learn the lesson, I think before November is over, boom, look at that, before November's over. And for those of you who didn't learn your lesson, boom, before November's over, you're going to go through this again. Okay. Let's see what information we can tell Pisces about the next person that is coming in, if it'll tell me. Nope, all it's talking about is the past there. No, it's not really going to tell me. Because it's going to be very, very unexpected. That's the reason why. It has to be unexpected. If you're expecting it, you will block it from coming in. If you're expecting it. I like telling this to my personal clients when people come to me for personal readings. There is science and quantum physics behind why that happens that way. I know you've heard everybody say that you meet your person when you least expect it. You'll find them when you stop looking for them. That is true. And there's science behind it. There's science behind it. It's not a coincidence. It's not just this little coincidence that happens to some people. No, that happens to everybody. Your divine life partner cannot show up while you're expecting it. They can't. They can't. Like, they just can't. So that's probably one of the main reasons why it won't really give me a whole lot to tell you about it. Because if you're expecting it, you're going to block it from coming in. This is mainly talking about how you're going to be faced with an open door of opportunity to potentially reconnect with somebody from the past. Okay, well, any advice? It doesn't tell me much. Any advice? Queen of Pentacles. Ugh. 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, Chariot. Uh-oh, there's that Devil card again. Well, again, since this is going to be more of a test, there's very little advice I can give you for a test. Very little. The only thing that I can tell you is that no, this person has not changed. No, they have not. It's about all I can tell you. They are still the exact same person that you walked away from. Now, obviously, when a past person comes back, they are going to make a very strong concerted effort to make it look like they've changed. They're going to make it look like it. And I promise you, if you buy into that and you bring them back into your life, they reel you in, they pull you up, they get you on the boat, they unhook you, and they're confident that they got you back in their grips. It's going to go right back to what it used to be. So just know that. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Just know that. I've said it a million times. There's nothing wrong with repeating toxic cycles. That will create wisdom. The person that repeated the toxic cycle 20 times is more wise than the person that learned the lesson the first time. Now, I'm not advocating that you go out and repeat toxic cycles. That's not what I'm saying. If you learn the lesson, then yes, move on from it. Just saying, for those of you who do end up repeating a toxic cycle, don't judge yourself. Don't kick yourself. Don't think you're doing something wrong. Because the funny thing about it is that you're the one that's going to end up with more wisdom at the end of the day anyways. See what I'm saying? All right, well, I feel like those were the messages that all my signs of the zodiac needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. All right, I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.